to another episode of the Hollywood Critics Association Longbox, where we connect the comic books to your favorite movies and television shows. My name is Tessa Smith. You guys can find me everywhere at Mama's Geeky. Just everywhere at Mama's Geeky. That's here, mamasgeeky.com. Just search Mama's Geeky. You'll find me. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host,
Jonita Davis. You can find me everywhere at Jonita L. Davis. Find my writing at the Black Cape. So today is Spider Hawk Day or Hawk Spider Day, or what are we calling it?
I don't know. You are a little delayed, but we can at least hear you. So you're like delayed a little, like your voice doesn't match your video, but we're fine. Maybe it'll catch up too. It's always something with us. Always.
I'm dubbed
yes,
today. Yes.
She's dubbed. That's what it is like. It's to be entertaining. But yeah, so Hawkeye finale was today. And then of course, Spider-Man No Way Home has been out. We are going to talk spoilers. We need to keep it pretty close to getting off at noon. Kids went back to virtual schooling in my house. Yay. So I need to, be off to make sure that they go to class or else they won't, because they're kids and they don't want to. But so let's dive into it. What do you want to talk first? You want to talk Hawkeye first? Oh, you're so delayed. Oh.
Yes, Hawkeye first.
Okay, Hawkeye first. Oh,
Let's do Hawk.
Poor Joe. She's all spotty. Okay, so Hawkeye. Right. So
what's going on?
I know.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're like so far off your video. It's crazy. It's like
if in a moment I leave, that means that I stopped and I have to okay.
Oh, there's always something with us. Why is this happening? I can't. Even technology is like, yo, can we take a vacation till the end of the year? That's what's coming. That's happening. I wonder let me take you out of the studio and put you back in and see if that helps. We'll try this. I'm going to try something. I'm just going to take her out and then we'll add her back in. Did that catch up? Say something. Well, let's find out.
Hey.
Nope. No, you're still delayed, but you're less delayed than you were. So
okay,
there's that.
Give me 5 minutes. Yeah, well, 2 minutes.
All right, I'll start talking Hawkeye.
And I'll be back.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Poor thing. There's always something with us. Always something, I swear. But so guys, Hawkeye, right? The finale. Now we don't know if this is a season finale, if there's going to be another season, or if there's not going to be another season. I think maybe there will be, but we also know that this is leading into Echo. So who knows? Let's see. Are you giving me a thumbs up? Or you think you're good? Or no? Is that a thumbs up to come back in? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I just assumed it was. She's like, no, it's a thumbs down. Okay. I'll just keep watching down at the bottom there for you in the little thing. Anyways, we got a lot of stuff. I want to pat myself on the back again for being right again about Mockingbird. That was super exciting. She's also known as Agent 19. So when she flipped over the watch and we saw the shield symbol with the 19, it was like, vindication. Linda Cardellini is a hero. I love her. I would have loved to see her suit up, but hey, we got her in it just a little bit. So Star Drew here is saying there has to be a season 2, and well, I would love for there to be a season 2. I'm just not sure because we have Echo coming out. I feel like we could maybe get a Hawkeye that is just Kate. Maybe Clint pops in every now and then. Something like that would be great. But yeah, so I mean, we saw a lot of this. We actually had Kingpin. We've got Eleanor just became she went to jail. She tried to pull the guilt card on her daughter there. Was the watch hers before the show? Oh, the watch was hers for sure. So I think that I always was like, listen, you don't cast Linda Cardellini to be like just a wife figure, right? Like she's got to be someone. And I always wanted her to be Mockingbird. And I'm so glad that we did get the reveal. Absolutely. Just very subtle. Like that was her. She is Mockingbird. That was their life before. Very, very excited about that. But gosh, what else? There was just so much in this episode. We got another thing that was ripped right out of the comics. I was going to save this. Maybe I'll save this for Joe when she comes back. But yeah, there was just so much that we got. We got the costume. We got Hawkeye's costume, which was super exciting to see his costume. I was so happy. It was in this scene right here. You know, he's wearing it, and we got to see him in it. He didn't have the hat. He didn't have the cowl, which I would have loved to see. But you know, it is what it is. And we got a little bit. We got a little bit, and that's, I guess, all we could ask for. But there's so much I want to talk about with Joe. I'm trying to not touch on comic book stuff until she's back. So what else can we talk about that happened? I mean, it was great. I loved all the like hand-to-hand combat that we got. We got Jack fighting swordsman. Yes. Little weird mom and the swordmaster was good, or is it me? No, I mean, I was happy to see the swordsman actually fighting. I don't think he was very happy with her. I think he wanted to have a conversation with her, but it was the holiday party and just wasn't able to yet. So let me see. I thought maybe that was Joe. I got a text, but she is rebooting. Windows was updating in the background or something. So hopefully, let's see. Oh my gosh, there's the Doctor Strange trailer teaser dropped. All right, well, I'm going to have to react to that in a minute. I just was watching to see what Joe was saying. So she's rebooting. She'll be back. What can we talk about? Here she is. Let's see. Yeah, oh my gosh, I think you're caught up and you're good.
Am I good? Am I still dubbed? Oh,
I'm still dubbed. Just a hair. It's way better than it was before. So we're good. I think we can, we'll struggle through this and cut off here at 12. And then maybe next week we'll dive into some other stuff.
Yes. Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
I'm having,
I don't know. Tell you
it's internet trouble over here. So yeah.
Go ahead. I hear you. Well, I was surprised my internet wasn't like doing stuff either because the kids are on and the internet's used to not my kids being on as well. You know what I mean? Because everybody's using the internet in my house at the same time. So this is what I want to tell you. In the comics, Echo shoots Kingpin in the face, which literally we get in the show, which I was so excited about. But in the comics, Kingpin doesn't die. Kingpin just loses his vision for a while. So there is a strong possibility that Kingpin is back. He is not dead. Even though people think we saw him die in the show here, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to come back, and I think he's going to be the main villain in her show. That's what I think.
He didn't die. I don't think he died. Not for a second. No. No, he didn't die.
Yeah.
Does he have a superpower? That's what I wanted to ask you. Does he have a power?
I don't think he really has a power so much as he's just like really strong and can
really big
and like doesn't get hurt easily, you know.
Okay.
I think
so. His power is he's a big guy.
Yes, that's his power.
Okay. Okay.
That's pretty much his power. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, so in the comics, he loses his vision when she shoots him in the face because she knows she's like, you killed my dad. I mean, it's the same play out that they took. So I would love to see him come back in her show. I think he'd be the perfect villain for her show, right? It would make sense for her to still be going after Kingpin, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I have to say, I feel bad for this girl, Maya. She had her man, her mentor, both of them were like against her. Like they just like both of them were setting her up to fail. And I'm like, what? Okay, she can't be okay. She can't be okay. I kind of want her to get with Yelena and just take them all down. You know, that would be my dream for her, because Maya does not need to be alone right now. She needs a sisterhood, and Yelena would be the greatest person for her, you know, because she's mourning and because she's had this breakup. So,
you know, who would be really good to help her out too would be Mr. Matt Murdock, who we do know now is a spoiler from No Way Home back in the MCU. He is here. Mr. Charlie Cox is playing him, and he's phenomenal, and I'm so excited. So what I really, really want, because they get together in the comics.
Yeah, they do.
They fall in love, and I would love to see that happen. That would be amazing to see.
Okay, yeah, she could have the gorgeous Matt Murdock help her through this time of pain. I can see that.
Yes, I would. I mean, I'm here for it. Right. The only thing is, Kingpin turns her against him in the comics. That I don't want that part, but I could also see that happening. Oh, it'd be so cool.
Okay, Kingpin needs to be out of the way. He doesn't need to do that. She needs to be able to live her life. Okay.
I know.
She's had enough problems.
Can we talk about Yelena and Kate again? Like their conversations, they're so fantastic. The elevator, I was like dying. So good. There's so much fun,
Yes, I wanted Yelena to show up at Christmas dinner.
I know.
Christmas morning with I wanted her to be there so bad. I was hoping she was going to get out of the car with them. And I'm like, please have Yelena, because Yelena needs to meet the wife in the family.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe eventually. I did really like, I really, really liked that conversation they had where Yelena just did not want to believe that she sacrificed herself, and he forced her to believe that. And he's like, her. Like, there was no changing Nat's mind. And I loved that moment. I thought that was a great moment, an important moment to see the two of them. And I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Why didn't he whistle sooner? Like, why didn't you whistle before she started kicking the crap out of you?
Because the writers wanted us to give us some suspense. That's why. It's literally the exact reason.
The whistle should have been the first thing. Like, the first thing you do when you see her is whistle so that she doesn't try to kill you. That should have come to his brain. I don't know why it didn't. I don't know.
I mean, eventually it did, right? But yes.
After he's abused. And can we talk about how Kate learned the quarter flick just in time?
That was awesome.
It was.
Yes.
It was.
That was very awesome.
So amazing.
I love that she did that. Yep.
And that's how she took out Kingpin. When she was going up against Kingpin by herself, and I was like, okay, Yelena, you need to hurry up with Clint because Kate's about to die.
I know.
So y'all hurry up.
She held
with
her own against him. She really held her own against him, which I love. I love that they showed that about her, because I feel like this show has gone under the radar for so many people, and I hope that they eventually discover like how amazing Kate Bishop is, and just how amazing this show is. I mean, she held her own against Kingpin. That was crazy. Yeah. She shoots him, and he's just like, "What the heck was that?"
Yeah, he just and just go. So I wonder. Okay, so for me, I saw her up against him, and I was like, no. This is the guy Clint said he was afraid of. Clint is afraid of this guy. Go away. Back away. Go run. Go find Clint. Go find Yelena. Somebody. Yeah. You need help, sis. You need help. Apparently she didn't.
I know. Because of that flick. That was awesome. That was so cool.
And how many arrows? Was it like 4 or 5 arrows?
It was a good chunk of them. I'd say 4 or 5 probably.
Yeah, and that's how much it took to take down Kingpin.
And then he still got up and walked away until Echo shot him in the face. And I still think he's getting back up from that, because in the comics he does. So
that's why I think he has a power. He has to have some kind of invincibility, like a rubber like skin, something.
I don't think he has like a legit like power. I think he's just like I don't think they've ever said that. He's just a big, strong dude. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. They dropped the Doctor Strange
makes him invincible.
I've got like 100 people messaging me about this, like probably at least 100. So I'm hoping you can't. I have my headphones in, so you can't hear all the dings, right?
No, I can't.
Because it's going crazy. I figured they were going to be dropping that soon, because it came at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. So I see it, people. All you people out there, you're not watching this.
Okay.
But I'm assuming. So I will react after we get off here. But I'm like, everybody's like, react to this. I'm like, I'm live right now. I can't.
Tell them to watch this, and then we'll talk about it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, because I already saw it. Right, obviously, I've seen it 3 times. As long as they haven't changed anything in it. And dang, like we're just totally changing gears here. But I was surprised. This is the first time, I think the very first time they've ever put like a legit teaser as an end credit scene. Like it's a teaser trailer. That's insane.
And it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Doctor Strange is my guy. He's my guy. So I was looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the whole movie.
I know.
So the teaser trailer was amazing.
And I love to see how it's going to connect to No Way Home, which No Way Home, like, let's just dive into it. Hawkeye was amazing. Fantastic. Like I said, I was so excited that Laura was revealed to be Mockingbird. That made me super happy because that's also Agent 19. When she flipped it over, the shield 19, that's Mockingbird. So that was a hint to that.
I was going to ask.
So okay,
so before we move over, I want to say that Tessa called so many things. You called the watch, you called Kingpin, you called Yelena
Eleanor.
not coming, everybody not converge, because I wanted everybody to converge on the house and to be like one violent Christmas party. And you said, no, that's not going to happen. You called like all these things. So I just want to point that out there. You know,
I did. And listen, Hawkeye, Hawkeye is one I know very well. So I was, and I'm happy with how they did it. I think it came out great. I love the ground level hand-to-hand combat that we got so much of. Loved seeing Jack as swordsman. Basically, he was out there kicking butt with his sword. You know, I love.
And now he's a LARPer. Yes.
I know the LARPers coming in with their outfits and they're like, we're basically Avengers. Yes. I was like, this is the best. Clint got his costume. He didn't get the cowl, which I really wanted, but he got his costume. So I'm happy. I wanted it just as I wanted him to like have it and put it on and be like, no, and take it off. Like I just wanted to see it real quick for a second. But it's okay that we didn't, I guess. It would have been funny. You know it would be funny.
It would have been. I do have to plug here that I am so glad that they put the LARPers on because you don't get to see, I'm going to say it, you don't get to see black nerds in these like roles of just doing regular nerdy stuff, you know, and okay. LARPing is usually reserved for, and women. LARPing is usually when they have it in movies and shows, it's dudes. Yeah. It's white dudes, you know, and girls, we like to do stuff like that too, you know. And shout out, I think the suits were shout out to cosplayers because who can make the greatest costumes ever? A cosplayer.
Oh, cosplayers. Of course.
Yeah. And so the fact that cosplayers made a suit, that was amazing to me.
I know, that was awesome. And I know this totally just reminded me of it. I went a weird way about it. But how about at the beginning when he called Kay his partner? Oh, I teared up. I was like, I love them together so much. She was like, what? She like stopped and like looked at him.
She's legit now.
I know, it's the best. It's so exciting. And they named the dog Lucky. Like we got so much.
And she put her mom in jail. And her mom was gaslighting her. And I don't like her mother anymore. You know, is this what heroes do? Yes, this is what heroes do. Exactly. We put our evil moms in jail. Yes.
Right. On Christmas.
Christmas.
It's like, you know, man, I thought that was great. So I think it was a great series overall. I think it was good at 6 episodes. I was happy to see all the big fights at the end. I was happy to see Yelena and Clint talk, and I feel like Yelena got some closure and Clint got that closure. You know, the way he said this was her decision and we have to accept it. Like that was him talking to himself too, which I really liked. I just thought it was great overall.
It was a great, and Yelena was able to grieve. She lost her sister all over again. I feel like she lost her sister all over again, but she got to grieve. Clint got to finally grieve, and you know, now they can recover.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she learned that her sister did talk about her, you know, when she's like, when he said, she talked about you all the time. She was like, she did? Like, I loved that, Oh, I love it so much. All right. We only have about 30 minutes left, maybe a little less, depending on my kids technically have to be in class at 12, but I'm going to listen for them. So we want to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. You guys, okay. I will tell you, it completely blew me away. Can I say that, and spoilers, guys, but listen, Andrew Garfield came into this movie with something to prove, because his 2 movies have been talked down on so much, which I was always a fan of his stuff. Anyways, especially that scene, that shot with Gwen, that's like ripped from the comic books. It's amazing. I love that moment. I mean, it's heartbreaking, obviously, but I love that moment because it's important, and that's what pushes the Spider-Man forward. And so to not get The Amazing Spider-Man 3, I was very upset when they canceled that movie. And I felt like Andrew Garfield came into here like, I got something to prove. I got to prove my Spider-Man. I got to prove I know what I'm doing. I got to prove my Peter Parker. Like, he discusses that he went down a dark path. He stopped pulling his punches. Like, that in itself was amazing. And then you get the moments where he's talking to them and he literally says, I'm lame compared to you guys. I've never fought an alien. Like, I want to fight an alien. That to me felt like it was a little bit meta. Like, that to me felt like he was talking about his, like, I know I'm the inferior Spider-Man here, right? Like, my movies weren't as good as yours. And they're like, no, you're amazing. And Toby's like, stop talking down on yourself. Like, I love that so much because I felt like it was the redemption that he needed. And then he saves MJ. And I can't even think about that scene without crying. I love that he had that moment. And then when she looks at him and she's like, are you okay? I was like, oh my God, Andrew. Like, oh, he steals this movie.
Yes.
Right?
I think so. I love the moments. What I wrote about in my little review that hopefully I can put up today is that this movie seems to finally take away, kind of attacks that toxic masculinity that we had kind of put into superheroes. They don't have to be macho. They don't have to be, they don't have to be complete a-holes. Yeah. They can just be good guys, decent guys who, just talk about regular things and show their feelings and help one another. Like, this was a raw episode for Peter. I don't think he could have stood up to any other hero helping him out other than the other Spideys. Like, no one else could have helped him. And then I also love that, we don't have a damsel in distress. MJ is never in distress at all. Like, that whole, when she said to him, are you all right? And it's like, oh, so important for her. And the fact that she had the key component to set the universe right, and it was in her possession. She don't need no rescuing. She's going to rescue y'all when you give her the signal, so I'm like, no damsels here. I love it. And even Ned's mom is like, unfazed. As a matter of fact, she's like,
can you get that goblin lawyer up there?
Yes.
That's the best.
Yes. So and don't mess up the house, that type of thing. Right. So I really love that this one had all of those elements in there, and it showed that you can still cry and still be strong. I mean, Peter was crying the whole time he was like kicking the crap out of Green Goblin.
I know. Like, oh my God.
Like,
speaking of Green Goblin,
the moment, and the moment his fist went down into that shield and that dent, and he like tears were flooding from his face, and I'm like, this proves to boys that you can cry and not lose your strength and not lose your abilities. That crying is good. You have to. Everybody does it.
I know. I love it. It's cathartic sometimes. Like, you need it. If you hold that all in, it's not going to be good. I mean, for real, So I love that. And then let's talk about, you mentioned Green Goblin. I mean, Willem Dafoe was amazing in the original Spider-Man movie, right? With Toby. Absolutely love him. Green Goblin's one of my favorite villains. He feels very much like the Joker to me, who's one of my favorite villains, right? When you're comparing Marvel and DC. Yes. And I loved him in that movie. But how the hell?
Very much the Joker.
Yes, right? But how the hell did he blow his own performance out of the water? He's so good in the first one, and he's phenomenal in this movie.
So the
Weird.
part where he
Way worse
goes to
now.
May and he's like, I need help. And I'm like,
Yeah.
is this really happening? And it was so moving, his, wanting to be good and wanting to do the right thing. But he has this thing inside him that he can't control. And
Yeah,
so
I know.
that is what kicks off the whole save the villains thing. And so another thing I loved about this one is it shows that these villains are more than just their evil deeds, that maybe sometimes they have things that are driving them that they need help with.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I can't control it. I need help with it. Like I really love that. To me, this movie kind of upends like the whole superhero trope. And it like
Mm.
it like challenges all the movies after it to kind of do something different. Like it's like, okay, your guy can't just be strong and it can't just lean on his power now. What else is he? What else is he as a human? Your villains, what else are they as humans or as people? What's the rest of their story? I
Mm-hmm.
think that it really does kind of ups the ante for everybody. And Willem Dafoe as a villain, I don't think anybody's going to top him. Like,
No, he's so good. It was him and Andrew who stole the show for me.
oh yeah, definitely. I think for everybody, him, Andrew, and Ned's mom.
Yeah, yes. But like the thing I do love about Tom Holland in this is he graduated. I felt like the trilogy we got was the Peter Parker trilogy, and now he's moving into Spider-Man territory. Like he is Spider-Man. He knows he is sacrificing the love of his life and his best friend. Like, and he's gets it. Like when he sees the Band-Aid on MJ's head and he realizes like, oh, like if I get them back on my side, like I'm just going to continue to put them in danger, and like moves along. Like that is Spider-Man, that's who he is. He's always been so selfless and he refuses to do things for himself. He's going to do things for the greater good always. And I love that we have that. And just seeing him with the classic suit that he made himself, listening to the police scanner, going out, swinging across Rockefeller Center. I mean, like, come on. Like, it's so good. So good.
What do you think about the fan theory that Ned is going to be a villain now that he does not know Peter?
I think it could happen. I think they kind of set it up too. The way he knows the whole like a best friend becomes a villain and does this, and he's all like, I promise you I'll never do that. Well, he doesn't remember that now. Ned becomes Hobgoblin in the comics, so I could definitely see them going that route should that ever happen. But I can also completely see them being like, no, like we could do that, but we're not going to. We're going to do other stuff. I could see it going either way. If it does happen, I don't think it would happen in the next movie. I think they would wait, like probably even another movie after that. It just would be too soon. Kind of let them do their own thing for a while. I think that Jacob would be great at it. I think he'd be a good villain. I'd be interested to see it go that route. I just don't know if it will be yet or if it will be. I think it would be a thing later. I think they're leaving it at being hinted at. He does have magic now, he can make portals. He can have some Doctor Strange magic. It might take him a little bit to figure it out again.
He only had magic because he had the ring, right?
I think exceeded or accentuated his powers or whatever, right? But I think you have to have a power to use it. I can't imagine that, like, I don't think Peter could use it or anyone who doesn't have magic could use it, is my thought process.
Okay. Yeah, and in the comments it talked about Ned as a wizard. I would love to see more on Ned as a wizard.
That would be cool.
I would love it. But yeah, I had to ask you about that fan theory. Because I was really upset by the end. I was like, tell her. You're not saving anybody. You're not a hero. She told you not to do this to her. Tell her.
I knew he was. I was like, this is too good to be true. He's not going to do it. Because that would almost defeat the whole, not really defeat the whole movie, but like the point was Peter was becoming this Spider-Man that we know from the comics who will sacrifice literally everything of his own for the greater good. And he protects MJ a lot. I mean, that's why he doesn't tell her at the beginning. And like, so it always felt weird to me that like he has this little group of people who know and they're really close and they help him, because Spider-Man is kind of a loner. And they even say that like Andrew and Toby were like, we don't know how to fight in a group. We only know how to do this solo.
Yeah.
So
what's an Avenger?
You know, I love it. They're like, yeah, that's awesome. What is that? And then Andrew's like, are you in a band? Like, what? Oh, so good.
Yes.
Just seeing all three of them interact as Peter and then also interact as Spider-Man was like the best.
Yeah. But back to MJ though, I think she looked like she was going to kick the crap out of him when she found out. She was angry with him for not telling her. I think that if she finds out again, I think she will find out again. She will kick the crap out of him she will kick the crap out of him this time for not saying anything. But yeah, I don't know. I think he has to bring them back in the fold. I think he does have to bring him in. I don't think he can work alone.
I think
or it's going to get really dark.
I think what's going to happen. I think we're going to go dark here, which I'm here for.
You do?
I do. I think that if he brings them back in,
Miss, I love a villain.
I know. I think if he ends up revealing to them again and they get back into the fold, I think if Tom does get another 3 movies, that'll happen in like the 3rd of the movies. I don't think it's going to be sooner than later. I really don't. Which I like. I like that. I think he might see them now and then and you'll get little glimpses of them, but I think it's going to really be, if this is another trilogy, it's really going to be a Spider-Man trilogy, not a Peter Parker trilogy. It's going to be dark. And I'm excited for it, man. I want to see that side of Spider-Man. I feel like we don't really get it. Spider-Man 3, we never really got it. It was not great. That was not a very good movie for the most part. And then we never got the Amazing Spider-Man 3, where we would have seen him go dark there. So I want to see that, because Spider-Man does deal with that a lot, you know. He goes back and forth between like the black suit and the classic suit. Like I really want to explore that side of him, and we haven't gotten it in live action, at least not well enough.
Okay. Okay, so do you think that Tom is going to be replaced as Spider-Man, and that we will get like Andrew or somebody back or someone new?
I think, sorry, someone's ringing my doorbell and I don't know who it is.
Stop it, people. She's live.
I know. Like, listen, this happens all the time. Well, I was trying to see if it was like mail, you know, but I don't think it is mail. I can't tell. I think it's just someone. Oh, they're ringing it again. I don't know who this person is.
It's like, stop.
Yeah, and my dogs are outside right now because I'm live. And
I can't hear just anything. Like, your soundproofing is amazing.
Oh, well, thanks. But now I wonder if I should get off here and go see who's at my door. Like, I don't know. I don't know who it is. It's like a random dude.
I mean, you could just keep us live. Just in case
yeah. You know what?
Happens,
I'm gonna take myself out of here. You just chit chat, and I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, I'll talk about my favorite parts.
Okay.
And you know, apologies for the delay right now. But going back to someone said it, Star Drew, you said in the comments about Miles Morales. Everybody was like, oh, Miles is going to be here. He's going to be here. But I think the mention that Jamie Foxx did was so much better than just having a glimpse of Miles. And I think it kind of sets up for if we see him later. I love the fact that, you know, I thought you were black. Because you're swinging around the hood and, you know, doing all this. I love that. I loved it. I also wonder, though, if they're going to keep Miles for the animated and Spider-Man, you know, and Peter for the live action, you know, keep that separation like they've been doing, you know, and like they've done with Star Wars, because some of the Star Wars characters they have eventually come into the live action, but it took a while. So I'm not so sure about that. But yeah, I thought that was a good moment. I love the moments with the villains. especially because to me, the villains are usually there just to get beat up. They have one mission, they have a tragic backstory, and that's it. You don't get the fact that, okay, if I go home, I want to go home to see my kids, but if I go home, I'm gonna die. Somebody needs to help me, and Peter wanting to help them, and May telling Peter, encouraging Peter to help, and his friends, I think that was really, really great this time around. It was weird, it was not conventional, but I think it's really, really was great. And yes, Doc Ock being a good guy, that kind of switch up at the end where he, they think he's a bad guy, and Electro thinks that he's there for him, but no, he's helping Peter. I think that was great. I think it was great. And I mean, having him go back, I don't know how he's going to go back with. How do you go back to like normal life when you've got like mechanical arms, spider arms? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend. How do you do that? I don't know. But apparently he's going to go back to life, his old life, with the arms, and hopefully they help him. I don't know. But I love that Sandman got his body back so that he can, because he talked about his family and wanting to be with his family. The empathy that was shown in this, and the fact that Peter had to muster up the courage to be that guy, that good guy. I think Starger, you said this. He had to be good, even after the grief and the sadness and the rage that he felt. You still have to do the right thing. And I love that. Another moment I loved is the moment they all three came up with the Peter Parker slogan, the responsibility slogan that, but his Aunt May was the one who told Tom's Peter. Aunt May was the one that told him. I think that was great. That was great.
Because he has no Uncle Ben.
No, he doesn't. He had her. But I think it was perfect that she was the one that told him that.
Me too.
And then the fact that they all had that moment where they all said it was great. But yeah, I think he needed these guys to kind of talk him through his grief and to show him you can still be a hero and still have these emotions. You just have to deal with them. We did, and Toby was there to let his Spider-Man was there to tell him that, no, you don't want to do this revenge. You don't want to kill anybody. You don't want to do this because I did it. And it didn't go well for me, Yeah, and Trailer Gamer, Doctor Strange was acting hella weird in the trailers, and it threw me off. I think that was just a misdirect, but I can see
they didn't have him wink. They changed what he said. Like, they changed it a lot.
Right. So I think that yes, I can see him, going away from his normal rules because he's not the boss anymore. He has experienced that loss. He is a changed guy. But the fact that the wink and the dialogue was different, that kind of angered me a little bit. I was a little upset about that.
He doesn't say, Wong doesn't say don't cast that spell. He says keep me out of it, which is so different. So different. So I was like, okay, all right. Like,
yeah, he's not defying rules.
I mean, we've got, obviously they just dropped the teaser. But if it's the same one, we got to see the Doctor Strange from What If is going to be in this, which didn't I say they're going to bring people from the animation?
Yes.
Said, I'm on a roll.
Listen, you should do it. And I told you so. Little clip so we can use it as a GIF.
Yes,
use it
that's
as
a good idea.
And every time, because she's right every single dang time.
It just felt like it was going to make sense for them to do that. There was no way they weren't going to be bringing in this. And I think we're going to get, there's rumors that we're getting live action Captain Carter. I think that's going to happen. We're going to get a lot of people from this animation stuff. And I know they're going to do a full series of zombies. They've already said that, but I want a live action one. How amazing would that be?
That would be amazing.
That would be crazy. It'd be like Walking Dead, but Marvel. Like, hello.
Walking Dead, but Marvel. I really love that. Yes. I want that. Give me that.
I'll help you write it, Marvel, if you want. I'm in.
I mean, you got your resource right here. So, I love this. I didn't feel like it was nearly 3 hours long.
I know it flew by, didn't it?
It did.
I've seen it 3 times, and it's still every single time it feels like maybe 2 hours. Like it doesn't even feel that last like 38 minutes, 40 minutes. It doesn't even feel like that.
No, it speeds by. I really, again, I really think this has so much goodness in it. And it's a good jump start to the next trilogy. Because there's going to be a trilogy. There's going to be a trilogy.
I know. I just want more. I want more Andrew Garfield so badly. I want him back. I don't care where, when. I always loved him. And I always loved his Spider-Man. But I feel like, I know I said this before, he feel like he had something to prove, but I feel like he did. And I feel like he deserves it. And I can't wait for the first interview where he gets to talk about this, because I'm dying to like see his fit. He loves Spider-Man, has always meant so much to him. I mean, there's pictures of him in costumes when he was like 4 years old on Spider-Man. Like he loves Spider-Man. So I want to see his not just him talking about being a part of this movie and what it meant to him, but the reaction of the fans, because there's so many people out there now that like get it. They get Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, and they just like, I just want to know how he feels to be like, wow, people loved me. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see his reaction to it.
Hey, Marvel, bring us Andrew Garfield. Put him on.
Yeah, please. Yeah. That would be amazing. I would not hold my breath for that, but I would love that.
I mean, you get to ask him the question. That's
I would cry. I think if I ever see him, like we were talking about, the Hollywood Critics Association awards were postponed. However, he's nominated for an award. And I was like, if he's there and I see him, I will cry. Like, I'm just going to cry. And he'll be like, what is wrong with this person? And I'll be like, I'm so happy for you. Like,
no. Okay. So no, I'll help you. You cry and I'll talk for you. I'll be like,
yes.
Okay. She's just one of your biggest fans and she loves your Spider-Man, and she wants you to know that. And that's what I'll translate your mumble crying.
That would be perfect.
We'll do that.
Because I'm so happy for him. And I was like, see, people, this is, like, so many people would laugh at me. Like, I was doing a live a while back and someone had asked me my favorite Spider-Man. And I was like, well, my favorite Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield. And so many people were like, oh, gross. He's the worst one. Ha, ha, ha. And now they're all like, oh, yeah, he's actually really good. Yeah, he just had a crap script that he had to work with and, like, not the best writing for his movies. But he's so good. And we got that. This was his movie, it felt like.
Mm-hmm. Well, in my house, he's the preferred Spider-Man of all of them.
Good. Your family's smart.
Yeah. I kind of have a thing for Tom. I think because to me, he's a little kid that needs protected. But I think that he needs to know that he had fans all along while everybody else was trolling him. So Mm-hmm. But yeah, he stole the show. He
did.
I really love the lessons here. I really love that this kind of elevates everybody's always talks about how superhero films, comic book movies, they're not very serious. They don't have much depth. I think this one did. And I think that from now on, I mean, and after Eternals, after Spider-Man, you're going to have to put something, again, like I've said it before, you're going to have to put something more into your Superman movies, your superhero movies. You're going to have to put something more in there. There's got to be something more.
Yeah, well, Doctor Strange 2 is about to be crazy. But I am worried. Mm-hmm. I am worried because I don't want it to turn into like a cameo, just a whole bunch of cameos, because they did say they were doing reshoots and it's supposed to be a ton of cameos. And I think they're going to bring in, like, I'd almost put money on Ian McKellen's Magneto coming in, which I'm fine with as long as it's right. But I feel like they're going to put in so many people that you're just going to be like, I'm afraid it's going to lose. Like
Infinity War. That's what I couldn't. That's my thing with Infinity War and Endgame. There's too many people. Well,
I'm afraid they're just going to be cameos. Like, open a portal. There's this one. No, that's wrong. Close the portal. Open the portal. There's that person. And it could be cheesy. Like I do think, and we'll see if I'm right, I think this could potentially be where Deadpool comes in. I think it makes sense if they're doing cameos and they're doing random things. I don't think he'll have a big moment. I think I don't think he'll be in it forever. I think he'll be in it for maybe 5 minutes. But I think this would be the spot to put him in. And we'll see.
There's a theory going around about Deadpool about how he can be a part of this. A couple of different ones. So I'm waiting to see. I know that my Deadpool comic that I was selling. I mean, I still am taking offers on it. I don't want to get rid of it. It's the New Mutants 98, his first appearance. The price of it is skyrocketed, so he's gonna be somewhere.
Oh, he's definitely coming into the MCU. That's been confirmed, but the thing is when and where. I think it makes sense in Doctor Strange too, but we'll see.
I have a Doctor Strange Ghost Rider comic.
That's cool.
So cool. I wonder if they're going to cross those two up.
Well, they could. I don't know. Listen, I feel like after they pulled off No Way Home, like the possibilities are just endless. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, again, trust in Kevin Feige. He knows what he's doing. And I just love it. I love it. But we've got to wrap up. I know this was like a weird show. We had technical problems, and then my doorbell was ringing, which, by the way, I got down there and nobody was there. And then I left, and then the doorbell rang again, and I went back down there before I came on here, and the person was gone, and there's no package out there. I don't know what was happening. But I have to make sure my kids are on school because it's virtual school again. Because life is crazy. So you guys can find me everywhere at Mama's Geeky. Thanks for joining in today. mamasgeeky.com. I have gotten the hundreds of messages. I will, once my kids are logged into virtual school, I will react to the Doctor Strange trailer. Don't worry. Okay. It's just like pinging constantly. I get it. I know I will. It'll be there. So that's what I'll have up next. And I hope everyone has a very happy holiday, especially you too, Joe. And why don't you let everyone know where to find you?
Thank you. Find me at Jonita L. Davis everywhere and at the Black Cape and Black Cape Media. I hope you have a good holiday. And, good luck with the virtual schooling. I've been doing it since the start of the year, and I can tell you it doesn't get better. I'm so sorry.
Last year was hard. This year is like a little bit, but they're just not great at like, okay, you had your break, you ate your lunch, but like you have to get back into class now. They get distracted and they go off in La La Land. And I'm like, no, but it's your time. You need to go. So that's why I need to. Hopefully it's supposed to only be this week. And then after Christmas break, their plan is to go back in person. I don't know if that'll happen, but
my kids are going in person after break, which is great because since the Spider-Man movie has come out and all the trailers and everything, my 8-year-old wants to wear his Spider-Man costume on at school. And I'm like, you cannot get on camera with your Spider-Man suit, mask and everything on. Can't do that. You can't do that.
Why not? You're not
his solution is Black Panther. I'm like, no, you can't.
That's the same genre. You can't. Yeah. Kids.
And don't ask about the Flash next. Changing from Marvel to DC doesn't help. I mean, your teacher won't care. Anyway, but go make sure the kids get logged on. Everybody.
Thank you guys. Happy holidays.